All right, friends, in studio with us, we have the illustrious, the staple in the community, the guy who makes me feel a little uncomfortable because he's 10 times better at this broadcasting thing than I am. Charlie Johnson. So good morning, Charlie.
Hey, Eric. How's it going? Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely. I'm on top of the world. Charlie,
I don't know anything about real estate.
Good. Well, I don't know much about the Visitors and Convention Bureau.
Okay, that's good.
Thank you. This will be a great conversation.
Okay, we can share some information.
And the fun thing, Charlie, is that a lot of folks in the community have known you from your time on TV or your time teaching over at Concordia, but you transitioned and you're in a new world now. What is this new world that you're a part of?
Well, it's been a wonderful transition, actually. I've been at it actually 5 years now. I just had my 5th anniversary at the CVB in June.
I didn't get you anything. I'm sorry. I really should have got you.
It's never too late, Eric. It was my birthday on Sunday too, so
dang.
you could just combine those.
It was my
two.
anniversary on Saturday. So where have you been?
My anniversary's on Friday, so it's good. Yeah.
Don't mind us, folks. We're just going to talk about
it. Exchange gifts later. It's been a really a good transition. I loved my career in broadcasting, but I truly enjoy the opportunity to sell Fargo-Moorhead and West Fargo as a community, and we do sell all three cities, to the greater world, to the country, to the region, and it's been a wonderful thing. I've had a lot to learn. Obviously, we're funded by the lodging tax, so I guess you would certainly say our primary constituents are the hoteliers in town. It's all about putting people in those rooms. But that just kind of comes with the flow of bringing people to town. So we're looking to bring anybody to town that we can. Individual tourists, couples, families, bus tours, small meetings, the biggest conventions we can find. We also have a sports department that works with local tournament organizers, and that's a big part of what we do. We help bring a lot of people to town for tournaments and things like that. We run a housing bureau for those tournaments and also conventions if they want to use it out of our office, so we have a lot going on there.
There is an underbelly of this town, and I mean that actually in a positive sense.
The positive underbelly, yeah, I like that. Well,
there's a positive underbelly because Fargo is a major, and when I say Fargo, I'm of course referring to the metro,
right.
But this is a major hub for people to travel to, is it not?
In many ways, yeah. There's a lot of natural flow through here because we're at the intersection of two interstate highways, which a lot of larger cities don't have even. So transportation through here just flows naturally. I guess it started as a railroad town and river town, right? So it just kind of expanded from there. So we get a lot of traffic that comes through just for business and people going from place to place. So yeah, there's a lot going on here. I think a lot of people don't realize, for instance, that the hotel economy in this community, just rooms, not counting their food and beverage or anything else they do, is like about over $100 million a year. So that's a pretty good slice of the local economy,
Yes,
so tourism is a real player. You know what the top 3 industries in North Dakota are, right? Oil, agriculture, and what's number 3? Come on, you can guess.
Alleys.
Yeah, well, okay. Only if they're involved in tourism. Tourism is the number 3 industry.
That's so crazy because North Dakota has a negative stigma to it that nobody would ever tour or travel here.
Well, I think that used to be the case. I think that's changed a lot, and I think the state tourism department does a wonderful job. Sarah Adi Coleman and her staff out there work really hard to sell the image of the state. You're right. The visitorship in North Dakota has probably lagged behind our neighboring states, South Dakota, Montana.
Sure.
But they've done a great job of promoting the state as a go-to destination for people, and I think we're getting a lot of traction. We do a lot of our marketing in conjunction with them, especially international marketing. Because when you're trying to bring international visitors, most people aren't going to come from Germany or Norway and only come to Fargo-Moorhead, right? Or only come to Bismarck.
Right.
They're going to come get a car in Minneapolis or Denver, and then they're going to drive a loop. So we work together to try to get them to put all of us on their itinerary and visit the whole area. So we've had a lot of traction, and Josh Duhamel has helped a lot.
Oh, he's dreamy, isn't he?
Okay, well, I'm not gonna. If you want to say that's that's perfectly fine. But he's a really nice guy, and he loves North Dakota. He genuinely does. I've had the opportunity to meet him just briefly a couple times when he was here for tourism events, And I think it was a great stroke of genius for the State Tourism Department to hire him and figure out a way to get him on board. They just extended his contract for 2 more years. So.
Oh, that's great. And I had the privilege of meeting Josh at the Sanford kickoff event as well.
I saw him there too. Yeah.
What a great guy, and just I love that he has kept his North Dakota roots. Charley, maybe you didn't know this, but I own a coaching company as well, and so I coach realtors around the country, and we're bringing people to Fargo. We brought them last year. We just brought a small group of 40. This year we're bringing about 120.
Excellent.
And you wouldn't
next year 300.
Yeah, I sure hope so. Yeah. If it grows as fast as my waistline does, we are going to be just doing so well. Here's what I found out is that Fargo and the Red River Valley and North Dakota in general is traditionally not a first stop choice for people.
Right.
Usually it's a unique thing. But when they get here, we were able to introduce people to Fargo, and they were mesmerized, so much so that almost the entire group that was here the first year is coming back because they want to experience again the culture, the warmth, the character of our community. And so you get to play into that fabric, and you run a campaign called North of Normal.
Correct.
Tell me more about that.
Well, we decided shortly after I got here that we needed to do a rebranding, which everybody does from time to time. Right. And so we hired a company to do research for us. They did really extensive research. And we wanted to tap into what was happening in Fargo, and we knew, I think, ahead of time that they were going to tell us, we're the Fargo-Moorhead West Fargo Convention Visitors Bureau, but I think everybody knew that Fargo is the name brand. Right. So we felt like we had to emphasize that coming out of it. But then they also picked up on that vibe you're talking about here, that there's a lot of young energy in town. We're a little bit quirky. They thought maybe because we hang out here all year round, even in the winter. And so they basically they came to the conclusion, and we agreed with them 100%, that we needed to embrace our region and stop apologizing for winter, and do something with North. And they came up with the slogan North of Normal, which we immediately thought was wonderful. And we think North of Normal in a good way, obviously. North indicates that we're not pretending that we're in the Sun Belt.
Right.
Although we may be in 20 years. So I think it's really worked well for us, and it's given us a whole opportunity to brand around that. And it's worked extremely well. And I think a lot of people in the community, especially the young entrepreneurs who populate downtown and some other parts of town, the tech community, have really embraced it, and it's good for us. It's been embraced so much that the Downtown Community Partnership even asked us, and we said sure, if they could use our logo and co-opt our logo. So they do North of Normal down there, and they have their own version of it. We got it to share. We'd love to share that, that moniker with everybody.
Charley, I want to say thank you on behalf of our community, because you have invested not only your time in broadcasting, but now your time to help bring people here. Because what happens is when somebody comes here, they're always delightfully surprised.
They are.
And they
That's
have
true.
to start as a visitor before they become a resident. And you are the lead-in, you are the crescendo, you are the catalyst, and the people that you work with are helping to fill and populate and make this place more diverse, more enriched, and a better community for us all.
Well, we have a great staff, and they deserve all the credit. I just go out and talk to you on the radio, but we have a great staff of counting me, 13 full-time people and a bunch of part-timers who work in our visitor center and other places. So they do the hard work of promoting the community, and they all of us together make contacts all over the country and all over the world. And the goal is to bring the world to Fargo.
Oh, I love that.
Moorhead and West Fargo.
It's a beautiful thing that you do. Charley Johnson, thank you on behalf of Real Estate Radio and our constituents for all you do. Folks, in the meantime, stick around. We have a lot more show, including our picks of the week right after the break. This is Real Estate Radio with Erik Hatch.